Hey everyone, what's up and welcome to Spectre's day one patch, which I kind of wanted to go over. Yesterday was day one. We did drop a 10 tips I wish I knew before I started playing Spectre video, but I thought they were still worth going over because although the game is new to a lot of people, there are some changes that might persuade you to use certain weapons. And we also have some store updates that I actually think are pretty massive considering they were also made on day one. There are a lot of things that go into the pricing of cosmetics in games, and big changes have already been made thanks to you guys in the community. So yeah, we'll be going over those things and I hope you guys enjoy. I got some games to show you as well over from my Twitch stream. We've been playing lots, man. We pulled like a 12-hour bender yesterday, man. I don't know if you can see it. I'm looking a little tired right now, but we'll be back at it today, okay? We'll be grinding some more Spectre on my Twitch. First up, we're actually gonna start things with Spectre's store update because I thought this was pretty big. There's a lot that goes into pricing of skins in game, and to make such a big change on day one, I mean, they are only at like an 80-man dev team, so I guess it's kind of at their free will. You know, if they want to make a change like this on the fly, then they're free to do so. They don't really have to run things by anybody, so they do it their way, the way they want. But Spectre said they wanted to share an overview of how the Spectre Divide in-game store works. They said, first of all, store offers are direct purchases only, and the cosmetics are not here to provide any form of gameplay advantage. They are strictly for aesthetics. And there's new loot boxes or NFTs, so this isn't like Counter-Strike. You can't be purchasing skins, selling it in the aftermarket to other people, and all this other stuff. Well, it's not the aftermarket, but like selling it on Steam to other people. It's just what's in game is in game, and the price points are what the game sets it at. They said new offers are going to be added to the store every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is actually really cool to see. That is nice to see that they have a lot of bundles planned to have a schedule, a set schedule like that for cosmetics. And they said you'll need to the required amount of Spectre points or in-game currency in order to make the purchase. There's no other way to make that purchase. In terms of takeovers are offers which are always in the featured section. They include new weapon skins, character skins, and bundles. Bundled content will always offer a discount over buying items individually. For instance, Cryokinesis weapon bundle features a minus 25% discount for buying everything together. I actually didn't know that. For some reason was under the impression that you had to buy whole bundles together, but knowing that you can buy individual weapons is actually quite nice now. That was a surprise. They said takeover offers are only going to be available for 2 weeks at a time, and the offers will appear in the feature slot for 1 week, and then again in the second week for a different slot. After the takeover offer ends, the items will not return for at least another 3 months. So there's a 3-month exclusivity period, which you can, I guess, get bragging rights to flexing if you get it right away. And the items are sold in bundles, will be sold first as bundles before releasing as single offers. So, okay, so that brings full clarity to what we were thinking. You can't buy them individually. Once the bundle dismembers after its feature period, then you can buy individual pieces. Next up, we're gonna talk about events and special offers. This is actually exciting because Halloween is right around the corner, so it'll kind of give us a bit of insight into that. It said on special occasions like holidays, Halloween, Christmas, we may feature limited time item events like special offers in the store. These offers will be available for longer than usual takeover offers, but once they're gone, the items will be returning less frequently. So I'm assuming this could be 6-month intervals or maybe even 1-year intervals until the next holiday season again. Additional store offers, all other store offers will be made available for 4 weeks at a time. These items will be eligible for rotation back into the store at any time. Spectre Divide team. So that was a good breakdown of the store and kind of what we could expect moving forward with the cosmetics and how they're going to function in this game. But this is where things got pretty interesting last night because they dropped a store price reductions article and a big tweet over on Twitter that addressed some of the game's initial backlash regarding the pricing. A lot of people in their Discord were complaining over the pricing of their skins. I'm pretty sure, I have never played a ton of Valorant, but from what I see, a lot of the skin pricing is comparable to that of Valorant. But a lot of people have also been criticizing the game's art style. I think that the maps themselves are very similar to Valorant's art style, but when it comes to the characters and their weapons, it's more of a cel shaded cartoony look, really more of like a true anime look. It's just funny, man. Like a lot of games like Fortnite, they add kind of like that anime style of character into their game, and people hit it with high praise, like these are sick. But you know, when a game actually takes it on and makes that their main theme, they're now criticized for being less quality than another animation style, and that of which is in Valorant. So I don't know, I think that's I think that's been a bit of a hot take. I personally actually really like the game's art style, but I'm all for lower prices. So any way possible for people to find and negotiate and haggle a price reduction, I will take it. I'm all for it, honestly. Like I said, I am a fan of the art style. It's no shade towards that, but I can't speak on whether or not, because of the art style, it takes less effort to design the skins. I know animations take a lot of work. I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to buy skins. Anyways, let's get into these store price reductions. They said that all weapon and character prices will be decreased in the store by 17 up to 25%. They said the Cryokinesis Masterpiece bundle that's currently in the skin for 9,000 Spectre points, this is the main bundle that they got going on right now, is now being reduced to 7,000. They did say that, just to clarify right out of the gates, that if you already bought these bundles, you will be compensated in plus. So you will actually get more currency than you would have had in the first place. So it's a little bit nice. They're rounding up. They said the Medusa Prestige bundle is getting price reduction from 4,500 to 3,400. The Eternal Guard Prestige weapon skin from 1,500 to 1,200. The Mako Elite weapon skins from 1,000 to 800. All the Masterpiece character skins from 1,800 to 1,500 Spectre points. And then lastly, all Prestige character skins from 1,300 to only 1,000 Spectre points. So the coins aren't cheap in this game. I'm not gonna lie. No game is really cheap nowadays, but it is nice to see a little bit of a price reduction. I did see some people say that they did notice right out of the gates, before they made these changes, that some of the bundles were rounded up a little bit more than what you would be able to purchase at a coin bundle. Like, you need to buy that bundle and another little bit. So this probably alleviates that big stress as well. They did go in detail though a little bit about as to how exactly you're going to be compensated. They said anyone that purchases items before the store changeover will get 30% of the Spectre points they spent on the item. So you'll get to keep the item and get 30% of your coins back. So like I said, that's all rounded up. It's actually kind of nice. You'll probably be able to get more stuff now, more bang for your buck. They give one example. They said if you bought the Primal skin, you would get 1,800 times 0.3, so 540 rounded up to 600 Spectre points back. It's doing some good back for the community. I think that honestly people are going to be happy with these changes, and if they feel comfortable putting out these massive price point changes off rip, then clearly I think they'll be okay. So yeah, they did express though that they said this is a completely free to play game. It's important to remember that 90% plus of our player base will probably never spend a dime on their game, and they love their free to play players deeply, but we also have a need to pay for the servers that we play on, as well as the massive initial and ongoing cost of development. So the freeness comes at a cost to us. It's not really to like throw shade back at us. It's just kind of, you know, being transparent and giving us the reality of the situation. Every time you buy skins, it is kind of just directly funding you know, their game and their development process and the servers we play on and everything. So this isn't some giant studio. This is a smaller dev team. You can kind of feel better about spending money on a game like this than you can, you know, kind of on a giant studio game like Apex Legends made by EA. Maybe that's a little bit weird to hear for some people, but you know, it is the reality of the situation. It's a business world, and you know, the world's got to keep turning. So that's everything regarding the store price changes. And I also wanted to go over just some of the patch notes that launched on launch day. We got our new map Commons, which I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some gameplay of that throughout this video as I'm talking right now, but in terms of the launch patch notes, we did get the new Commons map yesterday. For a lot of you guys who played the game for the first time, if you've never played the stress test, any of the betas, or any of the alpha tests, Commons is a brand new map that just came to the game for launch. So we have 4 maps on launch. It is really good. I do like the map. I think it's actually really unique from the other maps. I like the layout of it. I will be dropping some more gameplay, probably with my first time playing on Commons tomorrow. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys check that out. But they also improved the hit confirmations and reduced weapon fire audio latency. This should make your shots and hits feel more snappier. I will say things actually did feel a little crispier this time around in full launch rather than in the betas. Everything just felt more tight, if that makes sense. So big changes there. They also adjusted the matchmaking tunings to help you find better matches faster in your available region. Obviously yesterday the servers actually already went down, like as in they took them down intentionally to help fix some things. There was some server issues yesterday. There's a lot of matchmaking issues yesterday. It'll be interesting to see how things play out on day 2 for Spectre. But yeah, I think they're just kind of, you know, it's launch, it's to be expected, a couple bumps on the roads, but overall I think as a team they are handling the adversity very well. So that's always good to see. They also said they improved the underlying anti-cheat systems that they had in place, and they've added 2 new voices, Isaiah and Hannah. I'm not gonna lie, Isaiah's voice,
Can I get a buy?
it's so deep, man. It's terrifying how deep of a voice Isaiah's voice is. I was playing around with it yesterday on stream. It was kind of hilarious. There are a ton of changes, but the main ones I really wanted to go over with you guys, just to make sure this video isn't too long as well, is just the weapon and movement updates. They did buff and nerf some weapons and make some changes to some systems. So I think these are worth going over. They said over the duration of the closed beta, they did receive a lot of good feedback, and one of the major topics was weapon handling, in particular horizontal recoil. I've actually always noticed this. A lot of the weapons do have quite a bit of horizontal kick to it. It's something that does take a lot of practice to master. When I was in the firing range testing out recoil patterns, you really got to know and memorize the recoil patterns of the guns to keep them at bay, even something as accurate as the blackout. But they said while weapons in Spectre follow deterministic recoil patterns, as in they're the same every time, you can memorize them, we agree that some of the weapons were overly difficult. With this update, we've adjusted the recoil on a number of weapons to make them easier to anticipate and control, while still providing a strong incentive to upgrade at higher tiers. For the buzzsaw, the submachine gun, they said slightly reduce horizontal recoil after bullet 4 and slightly increase weapon firing stability. I've actually always found the buzzsaw to this is one of the SMGs here, the SMG with like a really long magazine. It was always pretty decent to control. I've always didn't have too much of a problem, but to know it's even more accurate right now is going to make it demonic in my opinion. I'm going to be using this a lot. The Whisper, they said slightly increased weapon firing stability. The Whisper was more difficult to use, so I am happy to see that. I've always found the Whisper a bit difficult to use at range. Yesterday in my first day playing on launch, it did feel quite smooth, so I can attest to it feeling better. The Cyclone as well actually always had a bit of a kick in my opinion. They said they slightly reduced mid and late pattern horizontal recoil. That is where I actually struggled. And new 30 meter plus damage range, head 116, body 30, and limb 25. So some adjustments to the damage as well. And then the drummer shotgun. The drummer I'm a fan of. I used this thing so much yesterday on day 1. They said they increased the fire rate from 140 to 160. I can agree that the fire rate buff was nice. It feels really good, and I think it gives it a more definitive purpose outside of the bouncer shotgun. The bouncer shotgun is the other pump shotgun, and that thing is really good. But the drummer, with how fast it shoots now, it's basically just a faster bouncer. The decreased overheat decay delay from 0.5 to 0.2, and increased shots before overheat from 5 to 6. You can get 6 pumps off. If you're pushing a team through a corridor, it can get pretty crazy. Moving on now to the Fury machine gun. I haven't used the machine guns a whole ton, so I can't speak to like how it's gonna feel. But they said in spite of recent boosts in fire rate, Fury is still slightly underperforming versus some of its tier 2 and tier 3 counterparts. We've adjusted its recoil to give it a boost. They adjusted the mid to late pattern horizontal recoil to be easier. A Berserker machine gun, this is the tier 4 machine gun. They adjusted late pattern horizontal recoil to be easier to control. I don't even know if that was necessary. The Berserker has always been really accurate, so I mean it could be nuts. The Harpy Sniper, they said they reduced ADS stabilized duration from 0.35 to 0.27. This means I'm pretty sure that your gun will go full accuracy upon you stopping any movement keys quicker. And the Op Sniper, they reduced ADS stabilized duration from 0.6 to 0.5. I did use the Op yesterday, and in the last test we had before full launch, the Op felt terrible because of how long it took to stabilize. I think that this was definitely a needed change and is going to be nice. I think it's still balanced, but it definitely needed to be sped up, and I think this is a good spot for it. One of the last things we're going to go over here is just the hit feedback. They did go over some things in detail. In the settings, there is a setting to get optic hit confirm on your actual reticle when you ADS. If you make a contact, it will glow on the outside of your crosshair, not crosshair, but your reticle. That's always been a setting. I don't know if they're just advertising it now in this update, but yeah, it is a nice setting. And they also increased the size of player hitboxes and improved hit confirms and reduced weapon fire audio latency. So I think like just having the audio and what you see sync up more will make it feel snappier. And lastly, a little bit of movement changes. They said they reduced the movement penalties for repeated jumping for all weapons, and weapons now apply jumping movement penalties according to their class. They do tweak the movement very cautiously. They're actually, although some people say that movement in Spectre is quite slow, they actually really do like the pacing and speed of how everything functions right now in game. I'm also a big fan of it. There's something about Spectre that just flows, and when it clicks, and it does have a lot of speed to the game. You just got to know how to manage it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Day one patch that I thought was worth going over. I really want to go over this here on the channel. I know it came out yesterday, but you know, everyone's probably hopping in for the first time anyways, maybe didn't even see this, and some store pricing updates. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we talked about today down in the comment section. Are you happy about the store pricing? Do you wish it was even cheaper still, or do you think it was justified in the beginning, a Valorant pricing? So yeah, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. I will be streaming later today on Twitch as well. We'll be playing Spectre all day. I hope to see you guys over there, man. We'll be grinding a ton. If you guys don't want to miss the videos here on the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one. Keep up, stay up. Peace out.